Today's episode is brought to you by MeUndies. MeUndies are the undies that I have on me. Also today, we're brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is going to get those good meals delivered right to your home. Let's jump into this podcast. Hello, everybody. It's time for Dogs and Crendor.
Dogs and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. Before our recording studio. Recording.
Wake your ass up! It's the Crendor in the morning!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dogs and Crendor in the morning. What was that? Just, I'm not even trying to guess. What was that supposed to be?
I don't know. It was just me doing that. It wasn't supposed to be anything.
Was it like you underwater? If you had to like fill the imagination of the audience,
Right.
what were you doing right there?
You want me to tell you what I was actually doing?
No, like magically. What was happening in that scenario you created?
Probably some sort of teleportation, but not very far away, like a 10-foot teleportation.
So you teleported either further or away from the microphone,
Yes.
or were you doing multiple little micro teleportations, which is why it sounded like what was happening?
Yes.
Great. All right, I'm glad we had the discussion.
What I was actually doing was I was holding my mustache and then going with my lip.
Right. Yeah. I mean, as one does when introducing a show. You're correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I don't know why I did it. Doesn't make any sense.
That's why I don't know either. That's why I asked.
How's it going?
Well, it's going fine. This week was huge week for me. I'm finally a homeowner.
Oh.
Big time homeowner in Final Fantasy XIV, baby.
Oh.
Pew, 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 pew. This long national nightmare has ended. Took me 270 days, but I finally got one. We're in there, baby. Yeah, video games. The intersection of doom once again rears its ugly head, but this time hilariously. So,
All right, hold on.
I've been saving this story all week because it blew my mind.
We need to hold it. Everybody's they're hooked now. They can't leave. Okay? I want to go back 1 second. Like everyone has been saying, like Jesse got his house, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the process of getting a house, but I assume it's like very difficult. So I just want to know.
Originally, way back in the day, and back in the day I mean before I played the game, the way it
Right.
worked in Final Fantasy XIV in order to get a house is there would be lots, and then you would buy the lots whenever they become available. And so the problem is that people would, if someone left the game and their house became available, there was a certain amount of time before you could click buy. So a bunch of people would show up at the board and just start it was like whoever could get it first. So that it would be like a long, crazy wait. It was kind of the vibe of like old MMORPGs where you'd farm like a dragon. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, it's going to take 16 hours, but one of us is going to get it. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And everyone hated it. Everyone said it was the worst system. So the devs said, okay, we'll make a slightly less worse system, but one that still sucks, which is now every, it's like 4 days on, 4 days off, or maybe it's 5 days on, whatever the case may be. Every so many days, every available house becomes up for bidding, right?
Right.
And it's like, okay, so a small house is maybe 3 million, and a medium house is maybe 20 million, and a large house is, 50 million, right? And
Are they just houses that go like abandoned or something?
well, yeah, if you don't enter your house at least once every 30 days, you lose it.
Oh, okay. I see.
So sometimes they go abandoned. Sometimes people switch servers. Sometimes people quit. But lately, because there's so many people playing, they had to add a bunch of new houses.
Oh.
So this time around, they added multiple new wards of houses. So I think it was like 1,800 houses a server, something like that. A lot of houses. When they made this new auction thing, basically it would be like you go up, you place a bid, and then it does a random roll, and whoever wins, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the vibe. And whenever this started, this was sometime last year, whenever this started, they had a new area, like an entire new town you could buy houses for. So I was like, this is it. I'm going to get my house. It's going to be amazing. And I bid on a home I was one of 4 people and I lost. I was like, all right, well, that sucks, but I'll get it next time. And that was 270 some days ago. I was like, no. And so what it is you bid, you wait a few days, then they reveal who won, and that person has a few days to claim it. Then the bidding starts again, if anything. But my server's so populated that eventually, that first and second week, all the houses were gone. So when houses did come up, it'd be 2 or 3 on the entire server, and each one would have hundreds of people bidding on it. So the chances were very, very low. Then they did a thing where they freed up a bunch of houses. And I was like, this is it. This is my time. And it was between me and one other dude, and I lost. And I was like, come on. So this time, they freed up a bunch, like so many, that I waited. I was like, I'm going to play it smart. I'm going to wait till the last day. So I went around, and there's this one ward called Goblet, which is kind of like a desert theme. It's an oasis. And it has a pool in the middle, and the pool just has a bunch of like random NPCs like flexing. It makes no sense. I love it. I love it. There's like a bar in the middle of it, but there's a bunch of houses surrounding the pool. And one's next to a waterfall, and one, it's a bunch of like great looking vistas. And I was like, this is where I want my home to be. I'm gonna figure out which one has the least bids, and I'm gonna bid on that. So I went around and was looking at all the different wards that were open, trying to figure out what I wanted. And I ended up on this one ward, the 29th ward, 29 of 30. That's and each one has, oh my God, 60, 50 possible slots, right? So this is how badly I've lost repeatedly. There's so many chances I failed every time. So this time I was like, I'm going to play it smart. I'm going to wait till the end. So it's Thursday, the last day to put your bid in. Results will be posted Friday. I'm like, all right, I got this. But I don't want to forget, because, I'll forget stuff, because that, like, undiagnosed ADHD, which I definitely have. I was like, okay, so it's like noonish. I'm going to bid. And so I put in a bid. And it was for a house that I didn't necessarily think I was going to want originally, because I wanted a small house. I don't know, it's just a video game. I don't really give a shit. I wanted a small house. But in the ward I went to, there were 0 bids on a medium in a prime location right in front of the pool with like some dude flexing out front. I was like, I need this home. I need this. There's like cat girls swimming. I'm like, this is perfect. So I put a bid in. I'm one bid. And then later in the day, doing my thing, and I kind of want to go back. I'm thinking, I got to go look. Did anyone else bid? I'm getting worried because it seems so lucky. So I go back, and there's a little tiny character standing on the placard. I walk up, and I'm like, hey, did you bid? And I click bid, and there's a ton of bids on this property. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, my entire free company and I are bidding on this, and whoever wins it, we're going to put our free company here. And I was like, cool. So the guy's like, well, what did you bid on? I was like, oh, just another property around here. Nothing. Good luck to you. And I like walked away really depressed. My tweets were just like, well, I'm going to lose, because there's no way an entire team is bidding on this. There's no way. Friday rolls around. I'm like, all right, everyone, let's do this. Meanwhile, I'm getting messages from other people playing the game that are losing their minds. Because like, I got home. I'm like, cool. Yeah, so that's great. Thanks. I'm ready. At this point, I was 0 for 27, 0 for 28, something like that. I had a lot of losses. And so I was like, all right, let's get this over with. Chat's losing their mind. They're like, you can do this. I click on it, and it's like, winning bid number 1. I was like, what? That's me. So I won a medium house. And I will say, I didn't realize Endgame was actually owning a home. Because, bro, I bought that. I started the stream at noon. Got the house. I was like, oh my God, I can decorate now. It was 9 hours later, and I didn't even know it. It took someone in chat saying, he's still been going? And I looked at the time and was like, whoa! Hours vanished. I had not moved from this seat. I didn't eat dinner. I think I had like one water the entire. I was lost in a world of like, I can decorate. Oh, I can have NPCs live in my home. I was losing my mind. I was going crazy. I was like, look at the trees I can plant outside. And everyone was like, it's so nice. You're so happy doing this. I was like, I am very happy. This is the happiest I've been in a video game. I'm like, whoa! I could make a secret entranceway in the library doors. Oh yeah, I was in it. I was feeling things. I realized this is the problem. This is why I probably can't own a home, because if I did, I would buy stuff to fill the home rather than it be stuff that I like. I bought things to fill the space. Like the basement of my home is like a bar and grill. I was like, screw it. Let's put a stage and like people can perform. It was insane. And then I looked at it, it was like, it's good. But I've seen videos, and if you want to get really messed up, just go like to YouTube at some point and look up Final Fantasy XIV housing tour, right? And you'll see some of the most like they look like modern day apartments. People, I don't know how, like you can float objects and like you can make things look certain ways based on angles and change lighting and put one thing behind another. The levels of creativity, like you can make a TV in the game if you get it right. I was like, first off, canonically, why would you? I mean, like, there's no TV.
Yeah.
But also, you made a TV in game. How did you do that? There's some
what the shit?
Incredible things. If you just look them up, there are photos. You can see people's homes. People make nightclubs, and people make like fun. I saw one guy made a vampire-themed bar. I'm like, shut up! And it looks better than like real bars. Like they clearly spent time making it look incredible, and you're just like, I want that. So now I want that, and I want to get someone who's like really skilled to come and like, remodel my home.
Yeah.
Then I'll make a video about it, and I'll be like, move that bus, and then we'll remodel my home. Yeah.
Move that bus.
Yeah, so I mean that's it. It's like just a weird additional thing they put in the game. But I will say, I've always been a fan of housing. Like, in every game, I think it's fun to like put your trophies on walls and like to show off your stuff. It always upset me that WoW never did that. And the one time they did do that was in the garrisons, and the garrisons were like, whatever.
They sure were.
I remember you and I playing, we couldn't even get the garrison because the damn thing was so laggy. We couldn't put our flags down.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was amazing. But like it's fun, and it was unexpected. I didn't think I would win. I didn't know I only wanted it just like when I go to a convention, I like want to get a t-shirt. I just want to get it so I can get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't necessarily need a house, but now I have a house, and I'm like, oh boy, I have so much stuff to put in here. Oh, people kept giving me things. I was like, oh, I gotta find a place for this. Yeah. So now I think that's my life now. Is just Jesse Cox, video game housing stream guy.
I mean, yeah, you got your own HGTV Final Fantasy channel you can make.
Yeah, the thing is that everyone else is way like mine. I felt like, oh, I did some good things. Nah, I've seen what good looks like. Good is like impressive. So
now back to the traffic source.
Yes. So on the intersection, as usual, stuck at the red light. There is no turn on right at this intersection. You can't turn right, so you just have to sit there and wait.
All right.
And while I'm waiting, there's this crosswalk, and it's kind of near a touristy area. Like I said, there's the hotels and everything nearby.
Yeah.
So people are always walking across the crosswalk, and I'm always just people watching. This time, there was a man and a giant husky and his wife, and they're pushing a baby carriage. And the baby carriage underneath it has all these blankets, and there's little toys hanging down, and they're having a conversation, and the mom is kind of like messing with the baby. And the dad is trying to keep the husky from walking in the street. And then as the light turns green, I go to turn because I'm waiting to see if which way they're gonna cross.
Right.
So, I don't want to hit the kid.
Yeah.
I look in the pram / baby stroller. Another littler dog, dude. Another little. They were walking one dog and had another dog and a baby carriage. And it took me a minister took me a minute to register, which I guess is a minister. It took me a minute to register what was happening. But I just watched this lady talk to this dog and give it a bottle like it was a baby, but it was clearly a small pet.
Yeah. Chalk another one up to the intersection.
Yeah. Oh, and then this week I was watching a don't even ask me why. I was watching like a YouTube documentary about Tabasco sauce.
All right, I want to ask why.
There's no reason. I just saw it, was like, huh, okay, click. And apparently it takes from vine to bottle 3 years.
What?
I know. That made me appreciate it way more. I was like, whoa.
Damn, that's crazy.
That little sauce? And they're like, yeah, it has to ferment for 3 years in a barrel with salt on top of the barrel.
I mean, what is it made out of?
It's made out of peppers. Just like they pick specifically a certain color red pepper that they have to wait until it's like a little, like a petite rouge or whatever it is, and then they pick them and then they mash them into like a paste with the seeds and everything, put that stuff in a like wood barrel, cap the wood barrel, torch the outside, put salt on it, and let it sit for 3 years. And I guess the fermentation, it like hardens the salt up top with the liquid. And then after 3 years, they pop that thing off, open it up. It no longer smells like peppery. It smells fragrant, they say. I don't know. And then they take it and put it through like 15 other mashers, and then they put it in a still, and they don't cook it. They just let the vinegar cure it. And then when it's done, they then strain out all the seeds and stuff, and then like a lady tastes it and she eats it on a cracker, or she has ice cream bars to kill the taste. And then they bottle it. If she says it's good, they bottle it. That's what I learned. It takes 3 years. I had no clue.
That's actually really cool. I didn't even.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought Tabasco sauce was like a mixture of like peppers and stuff. I didn't know it was an actual Tabasco pepper.
Yeah, they straight up just like make it, and it's delicious. And I just bought some extra hot. I never knew they made that. Love it. Had it on my my eggs today.
Huh.
Today I made some whatchamacallit eggs. Egg whites with feta cheese and spinach, and then I put some extra hot Tabasco on it.
Wowee. Look at that.
I know. It was great.
That's I don't know why I didn't realize it was a Tabasco pepper. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. It's one of those things where you think it's probably named after it or something.
Yeah, I think it was
that.
like a brand name. Like, oh, this is Tabasco sauce. Like, it's made by Tabasco, who mixes together a bunch of hot peppers or something. That's what I thought. But that does check out.
It's yeah, very specific sauce. Like, it's not, the thing is about Tabasco is it's not like a hot sauce. It's a pepper sauce.
Yeah.
Like a hot sauce is different. Like a hot sauce is something entirely separate, and there's plenty of great hot sauces out there. But Tabasco is like, I wouldn't put Tabasco on like my chicken wings, for example, right? Like,
right.
It's like it is very specific. Eggs, hell yeah. Some types of Mexican food, hell yeah. Pizza, hell yeah. Like there's different things I put it on, but I wouldn't put it on like chicken, for example.
It might be good on chicken.
I don't know. I need them like a more substantial, thicker sauce.
I see. Okay. I get it.
I'm very particular about my hot sauces. I made a bunch of chicken this week with Nando's sauce. Ooh,
do love Nando's sauce.
Love Nando's.
How do you find these things? Like, are you on YouTube homepage and it just pops up, or how do you find
yes,
it?
Absolutely. That's 100%. Because I will not lie. Sometimes at the office, if I'm eating lunch, I will go to YouTube and type in like, I don't know, Chopped or Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And they usually have like 15, 20-minute clips, and I'll watch that while I'm eating a sandwich or whatever. And so I think it propagates my homepage with other things similar to that.
Yeah.
So like right now I just went to my homepage, and what goes into feeding an NFL team is one of the first things I see. I also see Guy Fieri eats the cheesy Mac Attack burger in Boston. Then I see barbecue sauce 4 ways is one. But I also have I love my YouTube. My YouTube is amazing. It's Guy Fieri eats cheesy Mac, making homemade barbecue sauce. What lies beyond our solar system? Long episode. A Final Fantasy music track. A How Brendan Fraser Escaped Hollywood's Blacklist. Omen, the Elden Ring lore, Dung Eater and the Omen Curse. The Last of Us HBO explanation? Unneeded, but thanks for offering. Invincible Season 2 trailer. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme. Everything great about Shang-Chi. A song called Mint Jams from 1982. Hell yes. Hell yes. Vice World News turning Cuban street food into a restaurant empire. ASMR Luna Bloom reading you bedtime stories. Fuck yeah.
Luna Bloom again.
Hell yeah. She's going to show up there eventually. Best of Co-optional Podcast is still there. Classic. Original Istanbul baklava or baklava, whatever you want to call it. Love that. 1 orc versus 7 computers, 4K. Don't know what that means. Looks like Warcraft 2. Sure. How it's made, cheese graters. Every joke swap in one video, SNL. The history of mac and cheese. A long expected review of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Yeah, this is like so bizarre. My entire feed is just like, yeah, that's it.
Let me give you mine. All right. We've got It's 2005 and You Find a Bow. We've got Full Machinarium OST.
Nice.
We've got Aaron Rodgers tells Pat McAfee about something. Yeah. We got How to Fix a Pinched Nerve in the Neck.
That sounds like you.
We've got Lumineth, Realm Lords, Castle, Age of Sigmar, Army, something. We've got Into the Wild, Slow Down, and Overactive Mind, Calm, with some frogs, and it's a live stream.
Love that.
Yeah. We have Coffee, Morning Lo-Fi.
Nice, love that.
Age of Empires 2 HD full soundtrack.
I love that.
We have the report of the week. Did Little Caesars release the best fast food pizza?
Did they? Great question.
We have Video Game Donkey, The Stanley's Parable.
Yep.
And let's see, that's pretty much the main stuff I see. So that's mine. Hey, there's a Cox and Crendor Pele.
Hey!
Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, I keep scrolling down trying to see like what the vibe is. It starts to get a little out there. Like, 5 Street Fighter shortcuts that don't teach you anything. Someone reacting to Final Fantasy X for some reason. The complete MCU recapped, I guess. Sure. Therapist reacts to Grave of the Fireflies. That therapist is going to need a therapist seeing that movie. $120 water? Yours sounds way cooler than mine. Mine is just like, I don't do a lot of actual YouTube watching, so my algorithm's a little wacky.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's mostly related to like weird food things, like $2 burgers in Harlem. Which, by the way, having watched that video is awesome. That dude's cool.
Yeah. You see, I think the YouTube algorithm's actually pretty good at finding what you want to watch.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you don't expect it. There's been a lot of times where I've seen a video, been like, what the hell is this? Why is this here? Clicked it and been like, yo, okay. And really enjoyed it. And then I look at the comments and all the comments are like, algorithm brought me here. I'm like, oh, I guess it's the thing that happens frequently.
I'm kind of curious because I always hear this with the algorithm with the, they're like, you need to use the community tab and do polls and stuff. And I see other people doing polls, and occasionally I will put up some polls, such as 4 weeks ago I said, do you have a fireplace in your house? That was after I released Pointless Top 10 Fireplaces, of course.
Well, of course. Of course.
And 29% said yes, 33% said no, and 38% said, is this another promotional poll for Pointless Top 10 Fireplaces?
They get it. They know what's up.
They get it. So, I don't know. Do you do polls? Do you do those things? I don't even know if it matters. I just heard some guy say it matters.
I don't do them, but I know that my team from time to time will put a poll up. Although maybe they're not polls. Maybe it's just a post. I know the last time I saw one was in December, but yeah, I don't really manage that stuff. I probably should.
I feel like it can't hurt. I mean, I try to make them dumb and goofy.
There's so many features on YouTube now between shorts and now they want to monetize shorts. I'm not even sure what that looks like because, like, how do you sit through an ad to get to a 15-second clip? You know what I mean? Like, how can you justify that?
I don't know. But I mean, it happens. People watch 20-second videos with like ads on it on YouTube, so I guess technically, but it does feel like it's a waste.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. I mean, look, if you want to watch it and then they want to pay me, I'll do it, but like it doesn't make it right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if it's a really good short, maybe you know it's like top quality. But even then, I feel like shorts are just a thing you use to promote other videos.
Maybe not anymore. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to pull people from TikTok because TikTok doesn't pay you. The only way you get paid on TikTok is through brand stuff. And if you want to come to YouTube, Jesus, what is happening to me? If you want to come to YouTube, you have to make sure that all of your videos don't have any branding at all for anything else besides YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And if you do that, though, then you can, I guess, get money. I don't know what the rules are, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just kind of, I'm like, this seems like it'd be good, so I just do it.
What else did we get up to?
Oh, we watched Nick Cage. We watched the 2 Nick Cage movies.
Oh, yes. I think I blocked those out of my mind. Would you like to tell the audience what they were?
Yeah, so they were bad. First one was Nick Cage is a cop, almost to retirement, as you would imagine. And he is his son-in-law is also a cop, and he's gonna have a baby because Nick Cage's daughter is pregnant, and she's like, I'm having a baby, and then they like that's a thing.
So let's be very clear about this. The opening of the movie, the premise of the movie is cop, partner, and ride-along discover an armed robbery in progress. That's the plot. The opening of the movie features like a banker in Afghanistan on a construction site attempting to smuggle money to various accounts, and then 4 armed mercenaries show up and kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then are like, where's all the money? And he's like, I put it in different accounts. And he's like, okay, well, give us one of them, which is wild.
Yeah.
Why not all of them? They're like, give us one. He's like, okay, there's $1 million in Chesterford, the first U.S. bank at Chesterford, which apparently is like the whitest community in all of Boston.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Go to Chesterford. And then the movie begins. That's 28 minutes, I think.
It could have been a movie in itself.
This movie is an hour and
it's like an hour
27 minutes long. Yeah, there's like literally, by the time we get to Nick Cage, there's an hour left in the film.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wait, what is this movie? Anyway, sorry. Please continue.
So yeah, that happens, and then there's this kid who's getting bullied by these kids. So this black kid's getting bullied by these 3 white kids, and then the principal walks in. He's like, "What's going on here?" And then he punches one of the white kids. He falls over, and they're like, "This kid's crazy," but really he's just defending himself because he's getting bullied. And then the principal's office, they're just like, "Your son's gotta learn some lessons." The mom's just like, "What?" And then they're like, "He's gonna go right along in a cop car for some reason. I don't know."
to learn his lesson, apparently, I guess is the thing. Yeah.
So they're like, okay. So he goes to the cop car, and surprise, it's Nick Cage and his son-in-law or whatever. And they're
which, by the way, I couldn't get over the fact that Nick Cage, why the police would put the son-in-law in the same cop car with the it makes no, like, you wouldn't do that, I don't think. Like, what if they both died? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think you'd do that, but here we are. Listen, we spent like 28 minutes in Afghanistan, all right? And now we're in Chesterford, Boston, or whatever it was.
I get you. No rules, dude. No rules, just right.
So then they're driving around, and then they go to a gas station, and then Nick Cage and his son-in-law are like, hey, we gotta see what's going on here. And they start picking on some, like, dude that stole cigarettes, and he's just sitting there, and then they're like, we gotta arrest him. And then
they really do like a 5-minute scene where they arrest a guy who stole cigarettes and like pull guns
yeah,
on
like
him.
pull their guns. I was like, what? I almost forgot. They introduced another character who like owns the bank, and it's his anniversary.
Yes,
or whatever.
And she was like, it was basically said, "I'll see you." By the way, he had a great voice. By the way, he was like, "I'll see you tonight, Dad.
He was like James Earl
I've got
Jones.
to go run the bank."
Yeah, and then
we also learned about 18 other cops.
Oh, yeah,
we were
there's a
given
bunch
so
of other
many
cops.
names. We met the boy's mom. We learned the boy is special for some reason, undetermined why.
yeah,
I don't like. At first I was like, oh well, maybe it's like a racism thing, but no. And I was like, oh, maybe he's like gay. And no, I think he just had the high technical aptitude. Like,
I think he's
the
just
kid
nerdy.
at one point in the movie. Yeah, at one point in the movie, the kid pulls a battery out the back of a doll and uses it to charge his phone to make a phone call.
which I still don't get, but
I'm
I
pretty
guess.
sure. Is this the only thing you can figure out is maybe this kid is like a first generation mutant.
He's gotta
like,
be
I
one
don't
of the
know why
X-Men.
people. Yeah, he's like, people just, I'm different, so they treat me terribly. I'm
like
in what way?
This movie would have gone up like at least 4 points for me if Professor X showed up at the end of it and he was like, do you wish to join the X-Men? And he was like, yeah, you know.
Admittedly, agreed. I would have loved that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie has a lot that doesn't make sense. I'll be real honest.
Yeah. Then there was that other cop that you said looked like Salma. What's her name?
Oh my God! Totally forgot.
Salma Hayek.
No, Selma Blair. There's a
Selma Blair.
There's a woman in this movie who works for Interpol. But again, this is an hour 27 minute movie, and it has like 30 characters, 30 main characters. This woman works for Interpol, and the best way to describe her is from the nose up. Or I guess like from the mid-nose up, she looks like Ava Green. She has like Ava Green eyes. But from the nose down, she looks like Selma Blair. And it was blowing my mind because there was clearly a dividing line in her face. It was very like, it was bizarre, dude.
That was
and
pretty
she's
crazy.
trying to track down the 4 mercenaries. And really, if anything, should have been the main character. But instead, we have Nick Cage and his son-in-law and the kid they're joyriding with.
Yes. So anyway, we learn all this stuff, and then the guys robbing the bank. They go to rob the bank, so they blow up some cafe.
Which by the way, when the movie starts, the cafe scene, the dude with the beard. So there's 4 villains: beard guy, dude who's Nick Cage's son, guy who's trying to sound like Cassian Andor, and then other guy. As Crendor said, one dude looks like he plays vanilla World of Warcraft.
Yeah, one dude looks like an
the other guys
undead warrior in Vanilla WoW. The other guy looked like
guy
he
was
played
the dwarf.
Warhammer.
One guy was a dwarf in like
Like
Tolkien,
the Hobbit.
like straight
He
out of
looked
the
like
Hobbit.
a Hobbit dwarf, like from the movie The Hobbit. And then
Right.
the other guy looked like he played Tau in like
Yes,
Warhammer.
yeah, he was a Warhammer player who played Tau. It was genuinely hilarious.
And
just
like
to see,
definitely
like,
the type of guy who'd go to tournaments and be like, I moved 10 inches, but he'd like shove his model like an extra little inch, like, oh sorry, I bumped it, like that type of guy. You know? Or like maybe he rolls
I
5
do.
dice, he rolls like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he changes the 1 to a 2 real quick, like that type of guy. Like, oh, I didn't roll any ones.
this dude. I don't know if there are any leaders. I don't know how. There's the bearded guy goes to a diner, puts a C4 explosive under his table, walks out. The diner is across the street from the bank that they're gonna rob, and I was like, oh, that's he's gonna do a thing to like blow up the whatever. Instead, when the explosion goes off, it's like in another city, and the cafe that he was in is still standing next to the bank. Dude, I have no clue what was going on. There's one scene where a woman she sees the bank robbery in progress, and she goes to run and runs into the bank. She runs away from the gunman into the bank.
Yeah.
There's a
imagine
scene
you're
later,
walking up to a bank and a bunch of people are running up to it with guns and military grade equipment, and you just run into the bank instead of like running away.
the There's a scene later where a guy puts a bomb in one of the bank tellers' pockets and then marches them all outside.
Oh, God.
And the woman's like, "Officer, there's a bomb in my coat." And he pulls it out, looks at it, realizes it's a bomb. Instead of throwing it, runs away with it and explodes.
Yeah, we're like, throw it. Like he's got a good 7 seconds to throw it, and he just like holds on to it, and he's like, and then it just explodes.
There is so much wrong with this entire movie. Everything about it, there's so much wrong. I can't even with it. It's
so
boy.
Really, after all this happens, big shootout at the bank. Nick Cage's son-in-law gets shot, which you knew was going to happen because earlier in the movie, she's like, "I'm worried that today, after figuring out or learning that we're having a baby, that something bad's going to happen to you." And he's like, "Listen, like I got to do what I got to do. I'm a cop." I'm there, it was like a cop in like the most suburban area with like, there's probably like out there like some dude driving a golf cart around.
They pulled
like
guns on a man who stole cigarettes. Let's just that's the city we're in.
Gertrude's like sitting there with binoculars, like, "I think I saw some kids on my lawn," like that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he's like, whatever. But then this bank thing happens, so he gets shot in the leg, and then the kid. I don't even remember anyone's name in this movie. The kid who's like riding with him has to like wrap his wound up. So not only did he get bullied and then had to go in a cop car, now he's like seeing someone die and has to like try and save their life. He's got like post-traumatic stress from this. And then
there's literally a scene where he wastes the remainder of his battery filming the cop say he's gonna die to his wife, and that goes nowhere.
Yeah. Literally,
he's fine. Everyone's fine.
Everyone's
He's like,
fine.
"Baby, I just want to say to my little boy, I'm so sorry. This is all you're gonna get to your daddy." I'm like, what? He got shot in the leg. By the way, when the explosion went off downtown, the reason why there was no one there to stop the bank robbers is because every cop in the city went to the explosion, and all the SWAT was there, and they set up like sniper rifles on the roof. For what purpose, dude?
Yeah.
For what purpose?
And nobody could hit the bank robbers. Like, nobody could hit the bank
that's
robbers.
right.
It was like they were standing in the middle of the window. I was like, dude, I could have, in PUBG, if I stood in the window, I'd get shot. But these, like, trained
There was a
professionals came
firefight,
in.
yeah.
Like,
No
what?
one could do it. That was amazing. That was amazing.
And then there was like a huge firefight. One of the bank robbers got shot. The other one's like in the bank, like with the hostages. I'm like, there's like 2 guys shooting at him. How are 2 guys putting up this big of a fight against like over 10 police officers shooting back? Like it made no sense. Even if you're bad at aiming, I figure you could hit the dude in the blinds that pops out. All right.
I mean,
it was like Game of Thrones putting the trebuchets in the front of the army tier,
yes. Yeah, no, 100% agreed.
Yeah. It is. So anyway, at the end of the movie, they're fine. Everybody's fine. The cop guy's fine. Kid's fine. They're all fine. That's it.
Yeah. Everyone in the end.
That's how it ends.
Everyone fine.
And I was just like, okay, cool.
Yep. The bad guys killed like when the bad guys finally leave the bank, like their plan is put a bomb on the hostages, then make a run for it.
Yeah.
Within 30 seconds of them leaving the bank, they're all shot dead.
Yep.
It was genuinely one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
Not even like Nick Cage funny good, just like bad from start to finish.
Yeah, just bad.
Not good.
Pacing terrible. Character development terrible. Just everything was terrible.
Everything.
So
Everything.
Then we were like, all right, we got to move on. We got to watch something else. So then there was, what was that movie called? The
Humanity Bureau?
Yeah,
I think
Humanity
is what it was.
Bureau. All right, so Humanity Bureau, still not good, but slightly better.
It was an adequate Nick Cage film.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
This one, the global warming's hit. The lakes are gone. There's no lakes. The roads are gone. They evaporated.
Yeah, roads, lakes, all of it's gone, except there's plenty of snow, and the oceans are there, and Canada, I guess, has lakes.
Yeah. So they're like, I don't know. I don't even remember how this movie started, honestly. I just remember you get to the farmhouse with Nick Cage. He arrives at this farmhouse, and there's this mom and her kid. And the kid is like, he's this weird kid that's like...
Keeps trying to get Nick Cage to bang his mom.
Yeah, he's like, my mom's pretty, isn't she? And he's like, huh?
So the plot of this is that in 2030, the America, I guess, had a civil war. And in the post-Civil War, there's not enough food and water and stuff to go around. And if you can't take care of yourself, they ship you off to New Eden, which is secretly a crematorium where they just kill you, right?
Yes.
Like that's the whole movie, whole concept. That is it. The rest of the movie is superfluous nonsense. But that's like the subplot of this film.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, Nick Cage goes and he meets with a guy who I guess was the former governor of Colorado, and he
Nick
looks Cage is like, you got to go to New Eden, man.
And he looks like if Jeff Bezos had a kid with like Voldemort. Like that's what he looks like.
Oh no, that's the villain. That's the villain. Looks like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, the villain. Yeah.
The guy he meets, that's the governor, is like an old man, and they have a shootout, and he's like, "You'll never take me to New Eden," and that's when he discovers a hint, I guess, about how New Eden is fake.
Oh yeah.
And it's really, and so he sees that. And then his next victim, whatever the next person
he
goes.
And that guy, he had a shotgun and he had a poster that said, "Make America Great."
Yeah.
Not again. Just make it great.
And a photo of him with Donald Trump sitting together. Yeah. That's right. which was hard. It made trying to put the timeline of this film. We learned in this film that Trump was clearly president.
Well, this took place in 2030.
Yes, this is 2030.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was president, so that still would have been at least until 2020, right?
Right.
But they stopped making all cars 30 years ago. So in the year 2000, no cars were being made.
Yeah, even though they were.
Again, things about it was both our reality and not our reality. It's a very bizarre film that I thought the point of the movie was that because it was made in 2017, it was, these are people who are upset that Trump won and they're afraid this is the future, right? But then all the reviews you read online were like, this is the future the liberals want. And I was like, wait, what? I guess it's open to interpretation. Who knew? And so then he gets information that the Humanity Bureau isn't a good place, and he goes out to a farm to go check in on some people, and then Crendor, take it away.
Then the people I just talked about are there, the kid and the mom. They're drinking piss.
That's right. Everyone drinks piss.
Everyone drinks piss. I'm surprised Bear Grylls wasn't in this movie. But they're like, it's lemonade. But you know. And then the kid's just like, yeah, my mom's pretty. And then Nick Cage is like,
she was, though. Admittedly, she was cute.
And then they leave the house to go to Canada. All of them flee to Canada. And that's really the journey here, is they all flee to Canada. While
being chased by evil Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. So, and he's like, in his Jeff Bezos guy's in his swimming pool being like, water, the lost art of swimming. Right,
because again, there's no water.
Yeah,
yet everyone has water to sell. Everyone, for some reason, everyone's got water, but there's no water.
Yeah, there's no water, but everyone's got water. They're selling water. They all look hydrated and like well fed, even though I guess the economy's in shambles and nobody's got food or water. But I guess maybe
there's
just
clearly
adapted.
Snow on the ground.
Yeah, there's snow on the ground. They're like, it's nuclear snow. They can't drink that. Like,
Don't eat it.
So they go on this big journey. They run into a guy. It's like at a gas station that for some reason, after talking to him, he's like, give us gas, we're out. And then the guy's like, are you a good family man? And then Nick Cage is like, yeah. And then the guy's like, all right. And then he like rams his car into the Jeff Bezos car so that Nick Cage and his family get away.
The best part of that scene is as he's revving up to slam his car into Jeff Bezos' car. In the background is an echoey, ethereal version of Amazing Grace. It makes no sense, dude. None.
Yeah, that was.
And he slams into him. Actually, he misses Jeff Bezos' car and hits the other car.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
And so then Jeff Bezos is like, "Damn! Come on, let's keep going." They completely ignore their friends.
Yeah, so that was something that happened. And then there was God, what else? There was I don't remember what happened after that. They
ended up going. Their goal was to get to Canada,
right?
And then on the way to Canada, they met a former Nazi, like some guy named Adolf, and his 2 kids? Question mark.
I think they were Canadians.
I mean, they were definitely still in America. And the guy said, "I was visiting from Germany when everything went down, and as you can see, this is how it turned out," or something like that. So he's stuck in America,
right?
Living in the mountains with 2 kids, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he gives them iodine tablets and directions on how to get north past the nuclear wasteland.
Yeah.
And then they keep going north and getting like another wacky shootout with the bad guys, and then find the border and discover that all the nuclear horror stories were lies concocted by the government.
Yeah.
And they did that thing that was like, you don't have to build a real wall if you make people think that it's, radiated, and that's how they, fear is the wall they've built, or whatever line they said. And then they make it across the border, but Jeff Bezos and gang chase them over, and for some reason, they stopped running. I don't know. They had a lead on them.
Yeah.
But I guess they just stopped running. Turn around. Jeff Bezos immediately kills the mom. Just immediately kills her. I was like, what the hell? And Nick Cage is like, "Let the boy go. You could have me instead." And so they let the boy go, and he runs off. And then they kill Nick Cage.
Yeah.
They just pop him in the head, too. And then the boy runs back to the butt. And they end up giving, the boy gives the bad guys the chip that is all the secret information about this government conspiracy, only for it to turn out that it's an empty file. And they're like, "We're going to kill this kid now." And then out of nowhere, the Canadians arrive and murder Jeff Bezos and friends.
Yeah.
Except, I guess, for the one guy who was kind of like the okay bad guy. He was like a friendly bad guy.
Yeah.
He gets to live. But I guess the Canadians were waiting for the boy, and the boy is also Nick Cage's son, and the boy has all the information to really uncover the truth about what's going on in America, and then there's a revolution, I guess, at the end, and that's it is terrible. It's a terrible movie.
It was terrible, but it had more goofy moments, so that's kind of what made it slightly better, but still terrible. Still just
truly terrible.
Yeah. So overall, great experience.
Yeah, overall, 2 Nick Cage movies. What's messed up is I think out of all the ones we watch, those are the 2 worst ones.
Yeah. Back to
We've
back.
seen a lot of bad Nick Cage movies, but funny bad.
Yeah.
But those were bad.
They were bad. Yeah. But this is what happens. Sometimes you gotta watch those. They make you appreciate the other ones.
Yeah. I just realized it's almost been an hour.
Sure has. So
we definitely need to do our ads, or else we're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
We're too busy talking about Nick Cage.
Yeah.
See, time flies when you bring up Warcraft housing.
It sure does.
Final Fantasy housing.
I wish there was Warcraft housing.
Well, you know what else I wish?
Whoa.
I wish that I had some more MeUndies, because, oh my goodness, it's like housing for your butt is what it is.
Yeah.
You ever get that feeling when your crush texts you, or I don't know, you make some eye contact with that cute barista at the local coffee shop, or something lovely and fun, because Valentine's Day's on the way. And let me tell you, with the new limited edition MeUndie Valentine's Day collection, you're gonna heat up your love life, trust me, because you can get your V-Day MeUndies and 20% off your first purchase. All you gotta do is go to MeUndies.com/Crendor. It's that simple. MeUndies are undies that I have worn for 10 years at this point. It's been so long, dude.
It's been a long time.
And I have so many different varieties. All of them so like goofy and wacky, and I love them. I also have some boring ones. I got ones that are like maroon, but I also have, I got ones that got like skulls on them and ones that got like gold doubloons, and I have some that have mushrooms.
I think back in the day when we used to do the old podcast, like years and years ago, when we didn't have sponsors, we used to be like, man, if only we had a MeUndies sponsor.
And now we do.
Yeah,
it's our longest sponsor.
Yeah.
For good reason. All y'all out there, you keep messaging us, keep messaging them, letting them know how much you like them. They're great. They're wonderful. And now, for Valentine's Day, you can get one for both yourself, for a loved one, right? Maybe the loved one is yourself. That's 2 pairs. Woo. That's a steal right there. It's so comfortable. Micro-modal magic. However it works, I don't know. But hey, they're available in sizes extra small to 4XL. They got something for everyone to fall in love with, not just undies. Check them out. Please go to MeUndies.com/Crendor.
That's me.
To get 20% off your first order, free U.S. shipping, and to chat with their incredible Cheek Squad about any questions or sizing concerns. Once again, go to MeUndies.com/Crendor.
That's me.
Also today, if you're trying to eat healthy, my goodness, HelloFresh is the way to go. If you want farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep, skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make cooking at home easy and fun and, more importantly, affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. I know that we have been using, again, HelloFresh has been with us for a long time. And every time I get a new box, every time I'm just like, I'm about to make something good. And what's great is because it's a recipe you're making, everyone has their own preferences. Everyone has things they love or don't love. You can substitute. You can change things. You can take the recipe they give you, update it, make it your own. Do your own thing with it, right? It's that simple and easy and honestly fun. It makes the relaxation of just taking 20, 30, 40 minutes to cook for yourself. People don't do that anymore. The best part is, if you don't have that time, they even have less than 15-minute preparations. Easy, quality, just, things like falafel power bowls or seared steak and potatoes with a béarnaise sauce or Southwest pork and bean burritos, that kind of stuff. With over 35 weekly recipes, they have the options you're looking for to help you achieve whatever your goals are, be it calorie smart or carb smart or veggie, whatever, like if you're going protein loading or whatever, they got all the stuff for you. All you have to do to get in on some HelloFresh goodness is go to HelloFresh.com/Cox2121 and use code COX21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/Cox21 and use code COX21 at checkout for 21 free meals plus free shipping. HelloFresh, it's America's #1 meal kit. All right, Crendor, let's go jump in.
Oh boy, traffic out here, it is going. There are cars and traffic. Man, I'm out of the groove now. I'm not in the traffic groove. But one thing is for sure, and that's, oh god, I can't even think of a funny line.
I'm gonna keep going. You gotta think of something. Pressure's on.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
2, 3 licks.
I mean,
oh, Mr. Owl.
The
owl figured it out.
Was it actually 3 licks? I don't think it was, because then he bit it.
He bites it. Yeah, that's the goof. He bites it. He says 3. Yeah.
I mean, technically 3, I guess, but like it's
technically he's right. More. Yeah, the owl. That's why he's the smartest of all the animals.
Back to you.
All right, let's go to sports. Wait, weather.
Weather time.
Oh, guys.
I wonder if anyone's done a study of like how many licks it actually would take.
I'm positive they have.
There's got to be, yeah.
Yeah, literally the first thing that pops up. It only took a few hundred licks.
That's not bad.
So mathematicians at New York University came up with the answer for 1,000, but found out that really it only took a few hundred licks.
Dang. Yeah, that's less than I thought. I thought it'd be like 1,000 as well.
It says it also depends on the person. So one person got 678, One person got 881, but they said the average was 364 licks.
I see. So some people are just like, blop, blop, blop. Some people are like, bleh, bleh, right?
Oh, yeah. I bet how you lick it is the most important thing in all facets of life.
Yeah. Also, this last like 10 to 20 seconds sounds very weird. But, there you go. Now we actually know.
Just one quick Google search. That's how you find out most things, apparently.
Damn. They should, oh my God, they should do a new advertisement where the owl is like, how many licks does it take? And then he just Googles it and he brings up that study.
Yeah, he's like, here you go, stupid animated kid.
Yeah, and then everybody'd be like, dude, look at that. And that would, they need to hire me. Just so I can tell them to do that one idea, and then I can leave. So the weather is, we got one for Biddeford, Maine. It's pretty all right. Lots of old mill buildings that are finally being used again. I don't think it's really famous for anything, but the annual Franco-American Festival is fun.
Okay.
In Biddeford, Maine, it is currently 29 degrees with a wintry mix. We've got a high of 29, low of 28, humidity 95%, pressure 30.02 inches, visibility 0.43 miles, winds at 3 miles an hour, dew point 28, UV index 0 of 10 with a waxing crescent moon phase. Sun rising at 7:07 a.m., sun setting at 4:39 p.m. Taking a look at that 10-day, we've got 28 degrees, periods of snow this evening will transition into a wintry mix overnight. Low of 28, winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 100%. Snow and ice accumulating 3 to 5 inches. Monday, we've got temps steadily moving up to the mid 30s, but chance of snow 100%, accumulation 5 to 8 inches. Getting a lot of snow over there. Then Tuesday, 40, partly cloudy. Wednesday, 31, mostly cloudy. Thursday, 43 with rain. Friday, 30, partly cloudy. Saturday, 39, partly cloudy. Sunday, 31, partly cloudy. And Monday, 34 with more AM snow showers.
There is a pub. So I'm looking at this town, and it looks like the most Maine town I've ever seen in my entire life. There's like a vibe. You're like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, serial killer probably lives here, but also it seems quaint. Like that kind of thing. They also have a pub that, I'm not going to lie, all the food looks really good. It's called Sacred Profane Brewery and Tankard. I can't see what the rest of that says, but I'm letting you know, it looks amazing. The inside looks like exactly what I want a pub to look like. They got all the fried seafoods because it's Maine, that'd be.
Gotta have seafood.
But also the beer looks good, and then out of nowhere, this photo. I'm just gonna send this to you. There's just a photo of a woman dressed up as a devil and like two people taking photos with her.
Yeah, what the shit?
Like, all right, cool, I guess. Like, whatever floats your boat.
And then that man's like an elf, and the woman's just like doing the devil horns.
Meanwhile, all the food looks super legit.
It does. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, dude, I'm like super into it. And you can see during the summer they have giant open. It's like open air. Man, I love these kind of places.
Yeah,
big fan.
Yeah, it looks great. I also see the Golden Rooster. It looks pretty okay, but it does have a big rooster out front.
I love that.
They got Elements Books Coffee Bar. Wait, coffee beer? Elements Books Coffee Beer. So they got books, coffee, and beer.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like there's a whole vibe of... Maine has like a vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the coffee, beer, and like a weird, profane bar. Like all that is exactly what I imagine it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all perfectly fits into like, this sounds correct.
Yeah, it definitely does sound like Maine.
The crazy part is in the area where the Sacred Profane Brewery is. Do you think it's because it's next to the river? Maybe they get the water. But in that area, Banded Brewing, Batson River Brewing, Blaze. There's so many breweries here.
Yeah.
And run-of-the-mill public house and then there's just a bunch of bagel places, which I think is roughly, and then Elements, books, coffee, beer.
Yeah, there it is.
Hamburger stands. Here's the thing, like I would thrive here, I think.
I think you would too.
This seems like the like hipstery bullshit I'm totally into.
Yeah.
I love a good like microbrewery. I'm super into that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, 100%.
So I would go to like, we're going to a different one tonight. Let's go.
Yeah. This looks
After
like
that wore off though, I'd realized I was in Biddeford, Maine, which is next to. Actually, you know what? It is. I do not know how far that is. It is relatively close to Boston in like a geological scale.
It is.
You know, it's like along the coast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too far away.
I got to go through Portsmouth and down through like Newbury, but like we could get there.
Yeah.
We could get there. It would take, I don't know if you know what's crazy is I'm going to just look at the distance. I have traveled LA to San Francisco numerous times. It is like 1/4 the distance. I bet that takes 2 hours. Max.
Yeah, it's probably 2 hours.
Max.
100%.
That's the East Coast, man. That East Coast life. You can probably hop on a train and be in Boston.
Yeah. I mean, you can go north a bit, you'll get to Canada.
Yeah. I mean, and then I always, again, remember, Maine is near Quebec. For some reason, my brain thinks that Quebec is way far north in Canada. That's not true.
Yeah.
Quebec is like right along the border. I always forget that shit. Same with Montreal.
Yeah. Look at that. Well,
Look at that.
that's the weather.
That's the weather. All right, let's go to sports.
Sports. Here at the sports desk, we had sports. Today in divisional football playoffs, the Bengals beat the Bills, advancing to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, who beat the Jaguars, although Patrick Mahomes sprained his ankle. Then the Eagles crushed the Giants, and currently the 49ers are beating the Cowboys 16-12 with only 9 minutes left in that game. So that should be a good finish, and the winner of that will play the Eagles. So the Super Bowl will either be the Chiefs, Bengals, or the Eagles, and the winner of this Cowboys 49ers game. So there you go. That's your Super Bowl teams we're down to.
Will the Bengals bungle it up? The answer, yes.
I don't know. They're looking pretty good.
Dude,
looking pretty good.
The best they're going to do is get to the Super Bowl and lose.
It's possible.
It's the best they're going to do. There's no way they're winning. It's not happening.
Over in basketball, we got the Celtics in first, 76ers in second, Bucks in third, Nets in fourth, Cavs in fifth, Heat in sixth, Knicks are in seventh, Hawks in eight, Pacers 9, Bulls 10. And then in the West, we got Nuggets, Grizzlies, Kings, Pelicans, Mavericks, Clippers, Warriors, Timberwolves, Jazz, and the Suns in 10th. And then over in hockey, we got Carolina in first with New Jersey right behind. We got the Bruins in first over in the Atlantic Division. We've got the Dallas Stars in first in the West with Winnipeg right behind them. And then we have the Vegas Golden Knights in first with Seattle behind them by a point, and Edmonton just a couple points behind as well.
Look, I'm no Golden Knights fan. I'm a solid Penguins fan.
Yeah.
That's just my life. But Golden Knights in first means that we are this much closer to another Golden Knight amazing playoff entrance video, and I'm here for it.
That is very true. And that's sports.
All right. Let's go to our fact of the day.
Fact of the day.
Yep.
It's fact of the day song today.
It's a good song.
All right, let's see. This is a cool fact. Owls have specialized feathers.
Ow.
These feathers have the edges protrude out to dissipate the airflow when it flies. Because of this, their flights are silent, which makes them deadly hunters at night. Yo, that's pretty sick.
Do you think that's how they know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Oh, no doubter. He probably knows all along. You're just quietly.
Got those sensitive feathers, yeah.
Yeah, that checks out. There's some other facts I could bring up, but like
Hit me with those. All right, we'll save them.
No, I'm gonna do this one because it's like common knowledge. Okay, this one says staying in a negative relationship can lower your immune system. Studies indicate that negative emotions lead to lowered immune responses against diseases. Other studies support this by stating that stress and emotions can adversely affect the immune system. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because a negative relationship creates stress. And anything that creates stress is bad for you because it's stress.
The fight or flight in you kicking off, and you're getting all like worked up, and you know you shouldn't be there, but you stick through it because you have to. It's the same thing that, you know, like over time, dudes in a war zone. It's the same traumatic, you know, it's not as the same intensity, but it's the exact same thing where your body is like, I got okay. Oh boy.
It's on edge.
Okay. Yeah.
You're always
and you
on
shouldn't
edge.
be that way for a long period.
Yeah.
Like your body has that to get you through some shit.
Yeah.
Not to constantly be on.
Yeah. Like short-term stress is normal. Like if you're short-term stress, you know, it's probably like, you know, a few weeks or months or whatever, you're probably all right. But like, if it's going longer than that, that's not good because then everything's starting to suffer from that. So,
Exactly.
Yeah. But, I mean, even like you can consider exercise stress. You're stressing your body for like, you know, 30 minutes to an hour and then it's good for you. So, I mean, there's healthy forms of stress.
And you simply shouldn't just like constantly put yourself through that.
Yeah. But like if you over-exercise, it'll actually harm you. Like people that over-exercise actually are doing a lot of damage as well. So there you go. Facts of the day.
There you go. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Coveted hot dog statue stolen from West Virginia restaurant finally returns home.
What is this statue?
Hold on. Here you go.
I've seen this before.
I have not.
It's the hot dog man putting mustard on his own body. Yeah.
It sure is. The owner of a West Virginia restaurant that was heavily damaged by fire has his coveted hot dog statue back. The Wiener Man statue was stolen from the Dairy Winkle in Campbell's Creek during a break-in sometime after the January 11th fire, the Kanawha County Sheriff's Office said in a news release. A tip led deputies to a location where the statue was found undamaged. It was returned to restaurant owner Carrie Ellison. The statement said, investigators have not identified a suspect and are seeking information about the theft. The short statue depicts a hot dog licking its lips and holding a bottle of mustard while pouring a bottle of ketchup on its head.
That is what it does, yeah.
Ellison hopes to reopen the restaurant later this year.
I love it. Big fan.
The fact that the hot dog has like socks on kind of bothers me.
And shoes.
Socks
it's got like
and
Sonic
shoes.
level shoes.
Yeah, but like even the shoes, it's like okay, but just the hot dog with socks just feels weird.
I like it.
And
I
got fingernails.
like everything about it.
That's even weirder. The hot dog has fingernails.
Where do they come from? Do we need to know the answer to that? A lot of questions.
Why does he need fingernails? Why he could just have fingers? It's
again. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to know at this point.
Yeah,
but I guess the statue's back in the place it belongs. And that's the news story of the day.
Okay, I love this statue. I keep looking at it. Anyway, it reminds me of Hot Dog Man from Life is Strange, but whatever. All right. Anyway, that's it for us. Thank you so much for listening or watching. I don't know how you're doing this whole thing, but we appreciate it. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
We've got socials. YouTube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. All one word. That's where you can find all these podcasts on YouTube.
All one word.
All one word. Hit the like, hit the comment something, hit the bell, hit the like button again if you didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Also, you can go to youtube.com/Cox and Crendor. That's where all the animations are, where you can see our dumb segments animated by Dan.
By Dan.
You can also go to Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. We're on all those websites as well. And you can go to our main pages where we have stuff. There's youtube.com/Jesse Cox, youtube.com/Crendor, Patreon Jesse Cox, Patreon Crendor,
True.
Twitch TV Jesse Cox, Twitch TV Crendor, TikTok Jesse Cox, TikTok Crendor. I've been putting up new TikToks. I've been doing
it. He's been doing it.
I've been TikToking. Twitter.com Just Cox, Twitter.com just Crendor. Cox Clips, Cren Clips on YouTube. Warhammer Crendor on YouTube. And that's all I got.
All right. That's it for us. Thanks so much. We'll see you all next week. And as always, to be continued.